Do they not know, like, when she was gone, it went back to the year before she was?
Is his former NBA All-Star Gilbert Arenas. And that was just the opening salvo in the strong message he sent to Caitlin Clark's critics in the WNBA. His warning was simple: pay attention. While Clark continues to deliver historic TV ratings, fill arenas, and drive massive revenue every time she steps on the court, internal tension and negativity from other players threaten to undermine the very momentum she's building.
Got a proposal from the league, which was honestly a slap in the face.
Right now, WNBA players are facing the most critical negotiations of their careers as talks for a new collective bargaining agreement heat up. Emotions are running high. Athletes are speaking openly, preparing for a showdown that could shape the future of the league. But what's unfolding may turn into one of the biggest strategic mistakes in sports history. Some argue the players don't fully grasp the risk they're taking, a risk that could undermine the momentum Caitlin Clark has single-handedly built. While a few players may not see the bigger picture, Clark's supporters and analysts are already sounding the alarm. For several reasons we'll break down, the discussions have escalated to the point where some fans are seriously suggesting maybe Clark should consider launching her own league. At the start of the season, that idea might have seemed far-fetched. But given recent developments, many now believe it's a real possibility, and Clark could be forced to make bold moves of her own. Let's take a closer look at what former NBA star Gilbert Arenas recently said and the developments that could influence Clark's next steps. Stay tuned until the end and decide for yourself. Should Caitlin Clark start something new of her own? Before we continue, show your support. Drop a comment, share your thoughts, and let us know if you think Clark should take the leap.
Like, yeah, they don't give us, if y'all don't give us what we want, like, we sit out.
That's a possibility, for real.
His was Angel Reese and DJ Jonai Carrington, speaking confidently about the upcoming CBA negotiations before the season even began. The online reaction was intense. And interestingly, the criticism wasn't about whether WNBA players deserve higher pay. Most agree that salary increases are both inevitable and justified. After all, it's nearly impossible to justify a system where a generational talent like Caitlin Clark earns less than many everyday management roles outside of sports. What shocked observers was the tone. Many saw overconfidence, or perhaps a misreading of where the league's leverage truly lies. Critics argue that in today's climate, much of that leverage comes directly from Clark, her impact on ratings, attendance, sponsorships, and overall revenue growth. And rather than poring over spreadsheets or financial data, some believe that a single viral clip captured the entire debate, showing just how divided opinions have become over the negotiations. If you want, I can now merge all your rewritten sections into one complete, cinematic, viral-ready YouTube interview for. The reality, according to many analysts, is clear. When Caitlin Clark is on the court, TV ratings and attendance spike. When she's sidelined, viewership drops noticeably. The numbers speak for themselves. But what sparked even more debate is the growing tension among players. Despite Clark driving much of the league's momentum, some fans argue that competition has crossed into pettiness, with conversations about jealousy and friction blowing up across social media and sports talk shows. For many observers, including high-profile media personalities, the tipping point came during the recent WNBA All-Star voting, reigniting debates about popularity, performance, and player dynamics within the league.
Into the league, obviously interest went way up and some of the finances went way up, but there was some argument that it was a little bit of, a rising tide lifts all boats. But here we go with Caitlin Clark singularly being missing for the time she was gone and ratings tanking 50% in some cases. And then also she comes back and reminds everyone how spectacular she is. And everybody's talking about the WNBA. So if you needed to sort of have it affirmed to you that it is just her, that the singularity of her is what we are talking about and her star power.
During the recent WNBA All-Star voting, Caitlin Clark shattered records, receiving more fan votes than any other player. But when the player ballots were tallied, she ranked 9th among guards. Not overall, just at her position. That result shocked many, considering Clark finished 4th in last season's MVP voting and continues to post elite numbers this year, even while managing injuries. On the court, opponents don't treat her like the 9th best guard. She routinely faces double teams the moment she crosses half court and is the focal point of every defensive strategy. This is where former NBA star Gilbert Arenas' comments enter the conversation. Critics warn that public slights or repeated criticism of Clark risk alienating the massive fan base she has drawn to the league. If those new viewers feel unwelcome or disconnected, the WNBA could struggle to convert short-term hype into long-term loyalty. Frustration has grown among segments of Clark's fans, with some even reacting to vocal calls for her to explore alternative opportunities, creating an us versus them narrative between fans and the league. Adding another layer of tension, the looming possibility of a player strike during labor negotiations. If it happens, recently acquired fans might disengage entirely, threatening to stall the league's hard-earned momentum at a critical moment. Interview 6.
Best guard in the league. Don't try to give me the excuses of, well, she's been struggling lately, or she missed some games with injury. Come on. This is insanity. And I think it's an activist vote by the women of the WNBA who simply cannot stand her success. It's so dumb and it's so childish.
Two of the most influential voices in the WNBA labor negotiations, Breanna Stewart and Nafisa Collier, are also co-founders of Unrivaled, a new professional league backed by outside investors and a national TV deal. Many top WNBA stars and rising talents have already signed on. That dual role has raised eyebrows among fans and analysts alike. While Stewart and Collier sit at the bargaining table representing WNBA players, they are simultaneously building an alternative league that could directly compete with, or at least reduce reliance on, the WNBA model.
Let me make sure I'm understanding this correctly. The owner of a competing basketball league is negotiating the salaries of players who are playing in the league they're competing against? But KC, Unrivaled isn't competing with the WNBA. Unrivaled was launched so WNBA players had the opportunity to make six-figure salaries that they could never earn in the WNBA. I'm pretty sure that is the definition of conflict of